G'day, Mel James. Welcome to Market in a Minute, the spring summary for 2019. Where are we at in this market? Basically, we're still finding in our business that about half the market is off market, 50%, and half the market is on market. This is really at higher end Melbourne. So what's been happening? Where are we going? Where is this market actually going? In 2018, on our 100 auction test in spring, bidder man was 0.7, in other words, under one bidder per auction. In 2019, it was 1.7, in other words, a significant increase. Stock in 2018 was higher than what it is in 2019, that is true. Stock levels are low compared to what it's been like for the last few years. Clearance rates in 2018, when we were right down at the sort of bad part of the market, so to speak, were 40%, and now basically they're in the 70%. A significant increase in demand, a little bit less in supply, and you're seeing a big improvement in the clearance rates. How's this being reflected in price? This is where the price went in 2012, 2014. It then made a huge increase in 2015, 16, 17 started to level, 18 started to drop a little bit, started to come down, and 2019. We now think that in spring it started to go back up there. As you can see, back onto some sort of upward trend. How long this will last, we don't know. What are we actually seeing out there in the auctions? The auctions are really interesting at the moment. There is a number of bought befores. Let's say 10% of properties are being bought before, which means that 10% of properties are bought before the auction, so you need to have a strategy for working with that. There's still a lot of ducks out there, a lot of ducks, meaning no bidder auctions. In fact, over the last 3 weeks, 25% of auctions, 1 in 4 auctions, have been no bidder auctions. What we are seeing is the really big increase in volcanoes, in other words, 4 or more bidders. And you could probably say that maybe 10 to 20% of auctions are now 4 or 5 bidders. What does that mean? Well, it means you really do need to understand pricing. It means that you need to have strategies for dealing with that, because you can't just go on the agent quote and subtract a little bit more. There's quite a few properties that you do need to do that on, but there's now a number of properties that you need to understand how high it can go, not how low it can go. And then basically the rest of the properties are say, normals, which is about half. But even of those properties, only half of those are actually selling under the hammer. That's where spring 2019 is going. Basically what you're seeing is a big improvement in the number of bidders, demand, a big improvement in the actual clearance rates. The market is definitely on the way up.